Hello, welcome to all of you. So I see some familiar faces. Welcome back to this fifth and final day of our training on participatory video. So I would like to welcome you again on behalf of FAO and its partners, Digital Green and UPLB College of Development Communication of the University of Los Baños in the Philippines, and of course, our initiative, Young Casa Africa. Welcome to the final day of our training program. As this is the last day, congratulations to you who have made it to the final last mile. So for those of you who actually are here for the fifth time or for the fourth time, being attended for at least 4 of our sessions, then you will receive a certificate of completion. So good for you. Yeah, bravo. So I see that we are still waiting on some other participants. But in the meantime, we'll go over a few of our features that I know that by now you know everything by heart, but it doesn't hurt to repeat. So as you know, we have developed a Google site for this specific training, and you will find all the information that are relevant to the training, including the the links for entering this this last session, because we will not need any more links on Zoom, and also you'll find some materials, some exercises, and you will find also the participatory video guide content. So you have a full repository of information regarding this specific training. Now, moreover, we have a WhatsApp group. This WhatsApp group serves as community of practice. It's a space for you to exchange, to ask questions. It's a space for you to also share doubts, share experiences, but also share successes, in terms of participatory video. So we encourage you to use this space, even after this training is over. So even after today. So thank you to Uloma, who is diligently typing the links for both our mini site and our WhatsApp link. Then just a suggestion, in order for you to have the best experience ever of this training, we encourage you to use a laptop instead of a mobile phone. Also because we'll have presentations, we have group work, so laptop is a little bit easier and you can see better. So again, throughout the duration of this session today, you're welcome to use the chat box here in Zoom if you have questions or issues, and someone from the organizing team will take care of it. And in case that are questions related to the content, then our trainers will answer those when their session is over. So again, I am taking a look. Where are we at with the participation? Okay, so I know it's not even 10 minutes after. So while we wait to start our new day, I kindly ask our precious Nandita Mishra from Digital Green to take the floor and illustrate us some key takeaways from day 4, and maybe also provide some feedback regarding the assignment, although I think we only have one video that was shared. Nandita, please, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. And once again, a very warm welcome to all the participants to the final day of our this endeavor of learning how to make participatory videos and involving communities. So far we've done a lot of traveled a lot of this journey, and I believe it has been exciting for you the way it has been exciting for me also. So a quick recap on our previous session. If you remember, in our previous session, we dealt a lot about into editing and various aspects of editing. And you were also given some task to play around with some applications on your mobile or your laptop where you could test out these various editing skills. And I was very gladly happy to see one of the participants share a very beautiful video of his banana farm. And the best part about that video was that very wonderfully all the long shots, mid shots, and panning shots were also shown, which was very exciting. At the same time, if you would have noticed, the very well the participant has played with the music interface of it, and I encourage each one of you to please make use of these applications as much as possible so that you can practice these learnings. Otherwise, theoretical learnings will not be of any help, because at the end of the day, when you go to the field, the dynamics change. Maybe you have planned for a very well lighted day, but all of a sudden it's dark and gloomy. So what are the hacks and tricks that can come handy at that time? This would come only when you do practical on the field, on the ground, along with the community, that you will kind of upskill this skill of yours. Secondly, we also talked about facilitation skills per se. How do you disseminate the videos? How do you choose or make groups and select the right target for the right video so that maximum traction can be achieved on the video? At the same time, we can also ensure that more adaptation also happens on the ground. Also, we talked about how we can do even in-person sharing, where maybe if the community is not so hands-on with learning by watching a video or by just looking at a video, maybe they want more training on it. And if you have to conduct some workshops, then what are the factors or what are the aspects that as a facilitator conducting these workshops should keep in mind? Also, we talked about a little bit about adult learning principles and how throughout our journey as creators of these participatory videos, we always have to be very, very mindful of the adult learning principles, because here our target audience for whom the video is meant for are also adults, and the ones who would be making them also would be adults. So therefore, keeping in mind that what works for a child would not necessarily work for an adult audience should also be a very pivotal aspect in our approach towards making participatory videos. So I think that was all the recap in the recap that I could give you all that we did on the fourth day of our participatory video making. And I would always be very happy if more and more such experimental videos are shared on the WhatsApp group so that we can always guide you even when these 5 days are over. So with this, I will end my recap session. And thank you once again and for so patiently hearing me. And the floor is over to you, Sylvia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nandita, for these precious recaps. Because I also agree with Nandita, it is important to keep sharing. This is something that you don't you're not born with this knowledge. So you try, then some things go smoothly, some things don't. So you always in the process of learning, adjusting, and then improving, and then that's how you get better and better and better. And then you reach your goal, which doesn't mean to create a Hollywood movie, but to have a very good movie, in this case, video, for your purpose, for your target audience, to respond to your issues. That's a secret. There is no such thing as a perfect video. There is no such thing as a perfect anything, as long as, in this case, the video responds to what you actually need and ultimately helps the community. That's our final goal. Video is an important tool towards that direction. Thank you again, Nandita. So now I kindly ask my colleague Elena to share what's ahead of us today. day 5. There you go. Thank you, Elena. So today's main theme is implementing participatory video in your own realities. So first of all, we'll have session 6 that will cover some more topics related to the participatory video sharing, which we already started during day 4. And then we'll move to session 7, where we actually will try to identify some priorities and some follow-up actions in the application of the participatory video. So we are trying to get in more hands-on on what are we going to do with all this knowledge that we received. Now, in terms of the first session, session 6, the participatory video sharing, which, like I mentioned, we already started talking about this last time. The objectives of today's session are really understanding these modalities and methods for sharing the participatory video. So it goes a little bit more in depth with respect to what we discussed last time, and also to learn the basic elements to design and implement the participatory video sharing processes. We did mention this last time, to have a plan and everything, but we are going to take a look also at the preparatory phase of building the entire PV process. And then finally, we'll get acquainted with the M&E, monitor and evaluation in participatory video, which is key to keep track of our progress, to be able to learn some lessons and adjust if that's the case, and then eventually capitalize. Then more into details regarding the topics. So the session 6 will cover experiences in participatory video planning and sharing. We'll have a case study that will be shown, and of course, question and answers, and a little health break, which I guess everyone will need. Then we'll move to session 7, and we'll start tackling the priorities and follow-up actions. And what we want to do here is to actually identify specific priorities and activities to ensure follow-up to producing and sharing participatory videos, so that you go smoothly in your process. More into detail, we'll take a look at how to implement participatory video in our work, and especially during the group work, we will have really the opportunity to jotting down some priorities and opportunities of real life opportunities for producing and sharing participatory video. Then we'll present to the other groups what the result of each group has been achieved, and then of course question and answers, and then we will take a look at what's the way forward after this meeting, you know, this training of ours. What will be the next steps, and also some assignment, because again, to practice is the key to get better and better. Then we will ask you also to have a post-training assessment. We'll talk also about evaluation, and we'll be closing this very nice participatory video adventure that we shared with you. So thank you, Elena, for showing us the details of what the program has in store for us today. So now we move to session 6, and we delve in with Alberto Troilo, who will present the experiences in participatory video planning and sharing. Alberto, floor is yours.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I think a good morning is only for me this time. Then please, I will share my screen because it had some problem with one of the slides, I think, like in the previous training in Asia. Let me to do that. Okay? And you
Yes, can you use the presentation mode? There you go. Yes, perfect.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Then we here will present a bit of what are our experiences in different countries, in different continents also, and how to use the participatory video. We have here learned during the 4 previous days on how to deal with the video and how to produce the video, how to share the video, but not any kind of video. The video that we intend to do and to produce, to share with farmers is a participatory video. The process of participatory video has phases of doing it, and the pre-production, the production, the post-production, and the sharing part. Participation is mainly in the pre-production and in the sharing part. The production and post-production is just responsibility of the video producer. Normally, I mean, mainly that. And then in the pre-production phase is a lot of important, we said. It's more important to make that all stakeholders at the field level take part and jointly produce with the video producer the contents of that. The content, it had to be validated by the technician, some specialists in the subject that is the video is intended to show to the farmer, but also the farmer had to intervene in that just to show, I mean, to give them the opportunity of getting the solution of their problem, of their situation. We are not making video for us. We are making video for solving problems or improving some kind of situation there. Okay. Saying that.
Sorry, Alberto, okay, because we were just on the first slide. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's okay. This is the introduction, no problem. Then what we are doing here normally is using what we call the knowledge and communication module. And the knowledge and communication module is a set of multimedia communication materials with and employing that materials with methodologies, or a methodology of how to use these materials at field level. Then the KCM, the knowledge and communication model, normally is produced in different media, the radio, videos, messaging, graphics, any kind of media that can help to our purpose of applying in the field the recommendation we are giving in the video, especially as a center of the message transference. The participatory multimedia production, it has to be organized, planning, and use the material for dissemination, outreach, on supporting the training. What it means is we have to organize and planify it before we start to produce this knowledge and communication module that include the video as the main transference of information to produce. Then here you have learned how to make a script. Now the script is not only for video. For that reason, the script is very important because it's the result of the appraisal we did with farmers previously, and select and prioritize one subject that represents the problem or the situation that is in that community or local area. It means it could be not only one community, but a cluster of community with the same problem of that. Then when we identify this situation of the problem, then we determine the topic, the subject we want to tackle, and make it a script. And the script is very, very important. We have not to minimize the importance of the script. The script had to have all the content we need for solving the problem. Then from that script, we produce, as this training was, we produce the video. But only the video could be not enough for really making our audience, our segment, to apply this information into their real life. If it is a kind of technical problem for producing in the field, some technicalities or a propose a new seed or a new method of producing wheat, maize, or another product, then we had to reinforce it with another different kind of material. For instance, we use sometimes, along with the video, as the main media for information transfer, radio, kind of publications, and of course, the practice in the field. We design the practice in the field. Then the knowledge and communication module is compounded by all this kind of media, generally. We do the radio for one purpose. Of course, the video is the transmission of the main information. We use the radio for one purpose, that is just repeating after the video sharing what is the main concept of the main messages, to reinforce that. Some publication to get it into the memory of the people who can read from time to time what was the content, and we design the practice. All these four, maybe more, because we use the social media now also, then this had to be produced from the script. The script had to have all the information. This is the important thing, the crucial element of that. Okay. What we use the media, the audiovisual materials, mainly video in this case, is the best media to facilitate learning. This is the most important thing. The process of learning is individually. I mean, nobody learns from the experience of anybody else. They have to make their own experience to learn. This is important then, that you practice the production, the video production, the participatory video production. Then it is touching the two main senses of the human being, and they contribute a lot in the process of acquiring information, processing the information, and applying the information in the field. The audio materials, normally radio, but also sound system in the community sometimes, we are using to disseminate a specific situation, introduce the issue. Sometimes before the video is sharing with them, just to get them in the mind, the resonate in the topic we are going with the video. And to raise awareness also. Then we have the materials like this. I mean, this is in Spanish, but doesn't matter. It's graphic literary material, which it could be brochures and pamphlets or guides, specifically for farmers' guide, very short, but with a lot of draws sometimes and photographs to get they can keep, or they can the information and the specific data there, because sometimes data is not used to put in a screen. I mean, to put a chart in a screen is not really relevant for training. Then you can use the graphic material to do that. Then you can produce a trainer guide also, that how to use this knowledge and communication module, all the materials of that, how to use it, then make a training guide for them, for that people, especially when you are using this all this material in person with a group of farmers. Then the field practice. Okay, I have not to repeat what you learn when you do it. Really, you learn when you do it. Before, you are not learning. You know how it has to be done, but you are not learning how to do it, really. Then it's very important, the practice of that. You can have 1 ton of information of how to do one thing, but if you are not doing, you are not learning that. You cannot reproduce after that. And the field practice is just one opportunity to apply the information, the content in your real situation, socioeconomic situation, I mean the condition, because for that reason is the participation of the stakeholders at the beginning of the pre-production phase, because you adapt all this technical information that maybe is available to the real condition of that group, that community or a cluster of community that has the same problem. Now, we go to another thing. Then you have here, you can see here, there is a lot of possibilities of using the video, from knowledge generation and sharing to the planning, participatory evaluation and reporting, passing through awareness raising, dialogue, advocacy, internal and external communication of any farmer organization, for instance. And the application here, you have maybe 20 specific applications there. Then this if you select one of these, or you have you have to do something of this. How to implement it really in the field? I mean, how to solve this problem? Guess you have a knowledge generation situation. Then you agricultural innovation. The first one, just to mention one in the first line. Then you go to the field and make an appraisal, and you have an idea of what is the problem and the situation of that. Then with all the stakeholders, you make a local communication plan. I mean, this means to organize all the information and to organize the participation of the other people also. This is the local communication plan. It's not just a document of 100 pages to be written. No, it could be something that is written because there are commitments there, and this commitment has to be sometimes signed to get value of that. Then all the stakeholders in that community, in the local area, then agree in a plan to solve the problem. And this is the local communication plan. It's an instrument, an operational instrument for that. And this had to be implemented through the communication development process, because the video is within a system of communication. It's not just the video alone. That is the main thing. We are using the video as one media for implementing the communication for development process. Now, here we have some experiences that is, this is in the right side is the Bolivia, the Bolivia experiences in which we have enough time to devise the system of the knowledge and communication module with the local communication plans. That at that time in Bolivia, we make the strategies and the local communication plans for innovation, rural development, because we were inside of an institution that it was for the National Institution for Innovation, Agricultural Innovation and Forestry. And this was developed with what it was fine-tuned there, because we have a lot of previous experience also in doing that. Then we make a kind of design for that. And the main thing here is ensuring the participation of all the stakeholders. I mean, all the stakeholders that had to do or can play a role in solving the problem and the situation which we recognize as a bottleneck of the development of that community, or at least helping them to solve that problem. What they said maybe could be not a production problem, but it could be a commercial problem. I mean, it had something like a value change for something, and in the middle you have a problem that it cannot be solved. For instance, it's the ketchup plants with the tomato producer normally have problems of prices or qualities or whatever, and then you had to solve this situation that is not really related to the production itself, but it's something in between. So then here we have the local communication to facilitate the knowledge and the dialogue at local level. Here we have some example of that. Now with the ICTs, we are making just a kind of research, we call it not research, but it's also some appraisal of how is the situation of the ICTs, especially internet and cell phones, in the area we are intended to work. And we produce that because it is not only to know if there are infrastructure for say to mobile phones or internet. The problem is normally is the people, the farmers has access to it. I mean, what is the cost of it to have access to it? We divided the appraisal in two different parts. One is what is infrastructure in that area, and the other is what is the possibility of the farmers to have access of it. Just to plan also how we share the video. We cannot share the video even though in the area there are a lot of connectivity, if the people are not able to pay and to have access of it. We had to plan very carefully what is the sharing of the video or all the material. On the other hand, this local communication plan could be inside of a strategy, like the right image here, that is the Family Farming Union Communication for Development Strategy in Costa Rica, in a country of Central America. That is one of the biggest unions related to family farming. Then we make a strategy for communication for first, and after that we start to just get the information for the topics or subjects specifically to start to do it and to include in the local communication plan.
Alberto, you have a little more than 1 minute left.
Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, but it was 5 minutes late, huh? Okay. You have here some objectives there. They identify the addressing, securing process. As you have the presentation, then you can read better this. But we have two different kind of objectives in the communication plan. Some of them are identifying the addressing and the knowledge communication, the demands of them, securing resources, coordinate the agendas of institutional and organization actors, meaning all the stakeholders, and sometimes we can produce a kind of institutionalization services for communication. And the other is facilitating the change. I mean, it's just related to the people, really. We coordinated local communication service with that. Okay. Well, I am pretty sure that when you go to the field, you know that there are not only one problem, that there are a lot of problems. Then when you need to prioritize the things. And for that reason, when you make a local appraisal using the PRCA in innovation and communication as a tool for that, and you make a local program, it means you get 4 or 5 topics and you make a plan of developing these 4 or 5 topics one after the other according to the priority of each one, and make the local communication plan for each topic, only one topic. Then this is the last one slide. Then you can use this kind, I think you use it a bit before, but we use this kind of matrix to table to organize our information and to have in one look at what are our audience segment, what are the objectives for each of the segment of audience, what are the content, the basic content that we need to achieve the objective for this audience, what are the key messages for that, and what are the channels and the media. This is the planning, the planning of what we want to do with the video and maybe with the other media also, with the local, the knowledge and communication module. We have radio program here, we have text messages, WhatsApp, we have publication, and we have the video also. Then just for the young family farmers, and the other for the affected, for, in this case, water harvesting, we have the same, but we have another kind of materials just to get the information to the family farmers for that. And when we have this strategy that explains what, why, and how we will use the information, then we go to the plan, the real plan of action. That is, it gives, you put here the same columns, segment and objectives, and start to plan, including the budget you need for that, and monitoring and evaluation scheme of how you will evaluate it. And that, because the plan says when, where, who, and how much it will be for your local plan. Well, okay, if I have no more time, then I will say thank you very much. And remind this, planning is one of the key steps of participatory video. The time invested in planning pay back a multiples in terms of effectiveness, sustainability, and performance. And maybe this is the last day of the training and the last training of the year. Then Merry Christmas and Happy New Year for all of you.
No rush to leave, Alberto. So I did recommend to ask questions in the chat box, but I'm not sure if I see any. Please, Uloma, do correct me if I'm wrong. In case you haven't typed your question in the chat box, you're welcome to raise your hand and ask whatever question you would like to ask to Alberto about his presentation, or if you have some other question that is related to what he presented. So he's here, take advantage of him. He's been doing this for a long time, and he has a great deal of experience in participatory video and working with participatory video in the field. So it's a great opportunity for you to tap into his knowledge. Any questions? Any hand raised?
Okay.
I don't think I see, Uloma, there was no question in the chat box. Is that correct?
Yes, no question for now.
Okay.
Go ahead, please, with the training.
No, what, you want to leave us so early? Don't.
No.
Okay, so what we can do is we take our half break for 5 minutes, and then during this health break, you find that you do have a question, you're welcome to type it in the chat box so that when we get back, Alberto can answer those. So it is 1:45 p.m. here. We'll reconvene at 1:50 in about 5 minutes. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Farmers must be part and parcel of the seeking of solutions right from the beginning. And from our experience, when we have involved them in conducting validation studies through farmer field school groups, they have actually been part of the process from the beginning. They have seen the benefits as they learn by doing, and it's very easy for them to understand the benefits of the various technologies that they have been validating. Farmers have been validating a wide range of botanical extracts, most of them locally sourced, locally processed. These have been very effective in suppressing forearm infestations and protecting the crop and food. We have also learned that effective suppression means that technologies must be available at the farmers level, and the results have shown that this is the way forward.
Kuno kupalombe zimene tikupanga kwa mafield school, alimi ambiri kuno kupalombe aliosangalala kwambiri chifukwa cha zomwe timapanga ku school kumene timaphunzitsana, ndipo alimi ena akutengerapo chisazo kuchokera ku school imene timaphunzitsana za kuthana ndi tizilombo timenechi. Timatha kulimbikitsa anzanga kuti tithe kupeza zipangizozo mwa ife tokha mosayang'anira kuti mwina bungwe atha kutithandizirapo.
Kuti njira zimene ifeyo alimi kuchoka ku mafama field school zimene tapeza ndi njira zabwino kwambiri, njira zomwe ifeyo tikuvomereza kuti zikugwira ntchito yofuna kuthana ndi mbozi zoneka ngati nchembeleza ndonda zimene zabwera kudera kwathu kuno. Ndiye palibenso kusintha kwina kulikonse kumene kungakhalepo, tikhati kupitirizabe njira zimene tikusatazi chifukwa ndi zimene zikutipasa zokolola tikasatira njira zonse zimene tazikamba zija.
Full armyworm presence in Malawi was confirmed during the 2016-2017 rain-fed growing season, and since then outbreaks recur perennially, causing crop damage. FAO is supporting programs which are helping smallholder farmer communities to diversify their livelihoods and accumulate household assets using transformative community-centered approaches. Assistance is also being provided to achieve increased agricultural production and productivity, reduced post-harvest losses, strengthened inclusive value chains, and increased diversification, income stability, and household asset base. Significant investments have been made to understand bioecological adaptation of fall armyworm and to validate and generate components of an effective and sustainable integrated pest management strategy for its management on smallholder farms.
farmers must be part and parcel of the seeking of solutions right from the beginning. And from our experience, when we have involved them in conducting validation studies through farmer field school groups, they have actually been part of the process from the beginning. They have seen the benefits as they learn by doing, and it's very easy for them to understand the benefits of the various technologies that they have been validating. Farmers have been validating a wide range of botanical extracts, most of them locally sourced.
Okay, and we are back. Ooh, welcome, Victoria. I see you. You made it. Good, good. So, any questions for Alberto before we move on to session 7? Any hand raised? Any curiosity? Apologies, I am sick.
Nothing.
Okay, if there is no question, thanks Alberto again for sharing your presentation with us. So we are moving towards a different topic now. We are going to actually identify priorities and follow-up actions in applying participatory video. So we have seen how to do it, with whom doing it, the shooting, the editing, and the sharing. But now, how do we apply all of this into our work? And of course, directing this tool towards our goal while working with communities. So our colleague, Francesco Diasio from FAO, he will be presenting what are the steps towards the implementation of participatory video in our work. Francesco, please.
Thank you very much, Silvia, and thank you very much for all those who are attending this session today. Yeah, Silvia explained very well. We spoke about what to do, how to do it, but then how do we implement the use of participatory video? Please, we can go to the next slide. So it is clearly easy to understand that in the video production process, we have seen different processes, the pre-production, planning, the content development, and then the production, shooting on the field, post-production, editing, and finally sharing. That's what we have seen last time. Of course, we also know that video should be community-centric. What does it mean? It means to identify the needs and the problems to tackle and incorporate unique aspects of the community into this multimedia production. Multimedia, because of course it's video, but it's also audio, it's also script, and can be used in a variety of different formats and modalities. So we have to take care about language, the location, and the resources that are available. But for what do we can use? Of course, we said since the beginning that one of the main objectives is really the collective mobilizations. And therefore, participatory video is a tool that should enhance dialogue and promote collaboration and knowledge sharing. Again, collective action. And it facilitates informed decision making. Why? Because, of course, through dialogue and through common discussion, of course, it will be easier to have a common position towards some decision-making processes. Let's go to the next slide. And then, of course, in this participatory video, we know that there are several applications. Of course, we can document and record some field activities. One of the most common that we have discussed is knowledge sharing in the community, but also awareness raising, advocacy, marketing. Just as an example, our colleagues in Tanzania did very, very nice videos on branding their products, and they had a huge impact, increasing their market and increasing their possibilities. Education and training is also extremely important. To make it short, to amplify the voices and the stories of the farmers. Of course, we also know that there are constraints. Not everything is always easy. We know that sometimes there is a lack or very little skills in the video production or effective storytelling. Digital literacy is a problem as well. We also know that it is time consuming because it takes a lot of time to plan, to do the script writing, the storyboard, shooting, editing, sharing. All these are, of course, constraints. But we also know that sometimes the most important constraint is on people's willingness and motivation to participate. Last but not least, there are language barriers that should be overcome case by case, sometimes with local languages, sometimes with subtitles. But we also know that there are some opportunities. We know that nowadays, with smartphones, we can do almost everything. And therefore, the low production cost through smartphones are for sure one of the opportunities that we have to catch. And of course, also one of the opportunities is the accessibility of social media for sharing video. We know that in many countries, the internet penetration is still a problem, but we also know that there is a dynamic and a shift from traditional media to social media, and in that sense, we have to be able to catch these opportunities. Next slides, please. Now, here, this slide, we just see a few examples of the different applications. We can talk about low productivity, about vaccination coverage, benefits of organic pesticides, water resources, climate change. These are just example, colleagues. You know very well that we can also use it in a variety of different ways, monitoring the outcomes of a project, for instance. And of course, for each of the objectives, we have a dedicated audience. And therefore, it can be the wider community, it can be vegetable farmers or marketers or consumers, it can be family farmers or smallholder farmers. But when, for instance, it comes to climate change, it can also, for instance, be a perfect communication tools for advocacy towards institutions and other stakeholders. Let's go to the next and final slide. We have shared and developed in our practitioner's guide a few metrics that you can find, of course, in the guide, and you can find also in the dedicated mini website. It will be extremely important to develop your own plan. We know the importance of the scripts. You have to create your own storyboard. And finally, don't remember to develop a plan for sharing. This is extremely important. Sharing can be done on an individual base, on a collective base. Sharing is the fundamental aspect of all this process because it will allow us to have a multiplier effect towards the general public or some targeted segments of the population that we would like to reach. So these are the main elements that we would like to share with you. Again, don't forget that everything is on the practitioner's manual online in the mini site. Therefore, consult it, and especially don't forget also that we have a community of practice through the WhatsApp group, where our experts are always ready to support your production and to support your possible problems in order to advance all together. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and let's go.
Thank you, Francesco. Thank you so much. So are there any questions about this? Please don't miss the opportunities to ask questions. It's application, so it's really vital. It's something that we'll be talking about shortly in our group work.
Yeah.
So,
should be sure that I'm not going to answer, but we have experts that will answer on our behalf. So, I mean, you can ask whatever you want because we have experts on that.
thanks, Francesco. So, any hand raised? I don't see any hand raised. Okay, well, in that case, I kindly ask my colleague Elena if she can show us what's ahead of us for our group work today. Elena, are you with us?
Sorry, Silvia, I think I lost you for a second.
If you can show us the group work, what's ahead of us in terms of group work, what we'll be doing today.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you, Elena. So here is our indications for group work 5, which is the last group work of this training. And that's when we'll identify those priorities and opportunities for producing and sharing the participatory video. That means that we will have to think about priorities and also key areas to improve the capacities that we have on participatory video. So, okay, the groups you see here are the original ones. Now, considering the number of participants that are here today, I think there has been a little bit of reshuffling. So, Uloma, could you kindly illustrate us what is the composition of the groups today before Catherine sends us into our break rooms?
Okay, so today we would have only 3 groups,
Okay.
and they are all going to be because we wouldn't specify them based on initiative or organization. They would just be mixed in group 1, group 2, or group 3. So you would find yourself in either of the 3 groups, and Catherine would share us in groups in a minute, and I would be putting the links to the 3 groups in the chat. So yes, thank you.
Yes, another thing, Uloma, who will be facilitating the different groups now? Because we have 5 and then now there are 3. Who is going to be still facilitating the groups and who will
So
not?
for group 1, Sylvia, you'll be facilitating that.
Okay.
Group 2 will be Nandita, and group 3, Francesco. But they wouldn't be FFF, Digital Green, and Farm Radio International. They'll be called mixed groups.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So I remind you that the group work will last 30 minutes. At the end of this time, Catherine, who will be sending us to our breakout rooms, she will also call us back into plenary. So always be mindful of time. I also remind you that each group should nominate a rapporteur who will be presenting the results of the group work in plenary afterwards. And each rapporteur will have 2 minutes to do so. We'll be using the Jamboard. So I see that Uloma has already posted the links of the Jamboard in the chat. So if you want to see the Jamboard, just click on the link. And now I think, Catherine, that you can send us into our breakout rooms and then call us back in 30 minutes. And of course, we appreciate the reminder when there are 10 and 5 minutes left. Thank you. Please, Catherine, let me know if we're all back.
Yes, I guess we're all back now. So we can go ahead.
All right. Well, I hope you had a great last group work. So now we'll be presenting the different work done by each group. We'll start with group 1. I remind you that every speaker will have 2 minutes to share the results of their group. So our group 1.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have just 3 groups. I believe that we can reach 3 minutes for each.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. I was going by the book here. So, yes, but you can take even if a couple of minutes more. No one is going to be killing anyone. So, yeah, definitely. Thanks, Francesco, for pointing that out. We can start. And our colleague Elena, can you please share your screen so we can have the Jamboard starting with group 1?
Yes, we'll share it straight away.
Thank you. So group 1, we nominated, well, I actually nominated Lady Barry as our as our rapporteur. So she will be presenting our work. Please, Lady Barry, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello everyone. So my group, we had many ideas for how to incorporate PV in our work. Some of the ideas included developing the skills of farmers like women beekeepers in Tanzania, encouraging women farmers to share their knowledge among them and with other communities in places where there's no extension services, so that we can facilitate that that sharing of knowledge, as well as extending PV to use it for research and outreach and advocacy. Like one example was having youth create awareness about environmental issues, which combines advocacy and outreach, and also the trying to change behaviors. We also had ideas about deforestation as well, to raise awareness about deforestation's impact on the landscape, like tree harvesting. So these are some ideas we had about how to incorporate PV. And then we talked about the needs for enhancing capacities for PV in our work. And here we identify some challenges that we see in our communities. And some of these challenges included a lack of electricity, a lack of infrastructure, a lack of equipment. Like some communities don't have regular access to electricity, to data, to things like that. Like my own community, I noted that many people in my community cannot attend this kind of training. And although I plan to go back and train other people, something that I identified was that once you do train them, it's difficult for people to be able to utilize it if they don't have access to electricity, regular electricity to charge their devices, if they don't have access to internet to use, things like that. So we need some more advocacy to be able to improve access to electricity and facilities. And we hope that FAO has suggestions, maybe, I hope. And then 3 follow-up activities that we suggest is we have many ideas about how we can continue this work. If it's possible to scroll down, I can't see the whole thing. Thank you. So some ideas include developing a script for stories that are still untold. 2 people talked about this, about developing stories. We also said we need to identify the problems and needs of the community, so before we do any other work. And we also talked about continuing this group beyond the training so that we can share our ideas, share our stories, we can get feedback, and we can create a community to do this work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You were very exhaustive, and you even just used 2 minutes only. So thank you again. Now, if we can move to group 2, who is going to be the rapporteur for group 2? Elena,
Yes.
can you show the Jamboard for group 2, please?
Yes, coming up.
Thank you.
Here, Alexander would be presenting the reportage. Over to you, Alexander.
Yes, how everyone? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Yes, so for us, we were very specific, and we said that we are going to use PV in our work to focus on addressing the effects of using pesticides among the farmers or in the community. And we said that we can use this one to showcase or to create awareness on both the positive and negative effects of using pesticides in the community, and also to highlight about crop management practices when using the pesticides. We also said that we can incorporate PV to communicate about using protection during spring, because there are many people who expose themselves to pesticides when spring just by not using the correct protection. Then we also said we can use it to show them how to use the certified pesticides, and also the use of botanicals, or what we would call natural pesticides. On question 2, well, on the needs of enhancing capacities in PV work, we said that there.
Huh?
Sorry?
Huh?
Yeah, Alexander, please go ahead.
Okay. On question 2, when you talked about the needs of for enhancing capacities in PV work, we talked about the the need to we said that the need to address the challenge of the lack of awareness in the community, because there's a lot of there's a lack of awareness in the community. So we need to enhance PV in our work so that we can create the right awareness, and also for the sake of preserving the environmental ecosystem, also to reduce the risks to farmers when spring. We also say that there's need to enhance PV work so that we can address the lack of knowledge on pesticide application, and also so that we can help in reducing pest resistance, and consequently increase income of farmers by educating them. On question 3, can you scroll up? Yeah. On the need of the type of follow-up activities, we say that people can be holding field practice or demos, so that can be sharing the information that they have read or they have learned in the PV in the PV, and also holding workshops. Farmers can also give testimonials during the workshops, and also we can prepare brochures and also surveys, and also have an exchange during field days. I think that's all.
Thank you, Alexander. Thank you so much for your presentation. Now, last but not least, who's going to be presenting for group 3?
Our rapporteur is Pascal. Pascal, over to you.
Right.
Thank you, Francisco. Thank you so much. And Group 3 team members, thank you so much for your contributions. So in Group 3, attempt 1, we looked at illustrating a very detailed farm advices, for example, distance between two plantations. That is one of the things we looked at, how we could incorporate the PV in our work. Two, we already have a project in Uganda that is looking at 12 regions, and we are looking at having the PV in this project because in the second phase we are looking at using multimedia approach, not only radio but including the videos, the visuals. So this is an opportunity for us to see how this can be integrated. Three, as a way of showcasing adoption at the end of the project, actually we have just done some 6 videos which are showing what we have done, and we are likely to do this, outscale this or intensify this. Then for how we can incorporate this during monitoring and evaluation, this is similar to what I've just said. And 5 is looking at pricing strategies for agriculture produces in agricultural marketplaces. This is also another way of showcasing or integrating PV in our work. And then finally, integrating local knowledge from farmers around agriculture versus science and knowledge. So people, we already have a saying that seeing is believing. So if people see the videos and compared to what they are doing, it could be another avenue of doing work better. Then attempt to what are the needs for enhancing capacities in PV in your work. So he identified about 4. 1 is gender-based solutions. 2, mental and
Pascal, you're breaking. Can you hear us? Pascal? I am afraid we lost him.
Yeah, I think we lost him, but we can continue without any problem. I will continue. Can you? Yeah, I will look directly to me. About the enhancing the capacities, we are seeing the different possibilities in terms of gender, dedicated sessions to particular topics like environmental topics, and also reading the meteorological information for farmers, how to use meteorological information and how eventually to prepare some videos. On the last question, we had one of the important things is the connection between radio and video production. Brainstorming session about the impact of participatory video with all the stakeholders, using cell phones to share video widely, include a participatory video consultant in the design of workshops, exchange learning experience, of course, create public conversation in some marketplace after the video projection, and include participatory video teams from the times of the concept of the proposal and the writing. That's all for us.
Thank you, Francesco, for completing the presentation for day 3. Now, based on what we heard, I would like to open the floor for any questions that our participants may have regarding this group work or maybe some thoughts and observations based on what they heard other groups did. So please, if anyone wants to intervene, just raise your hand. I don't see any hand up. No one wants to ask anything. Today is a no question day. Maybe because we're going towards the end of the week. Okay, I'll take that as there is no comment or question or suggestion that to be shared. So we can move on to the next part. And we will be talking about the follow-up and the next steps. So Elena, would you be so kind to share the presentation with us? There we go, and that would be me presenting. So I will be presenting this, and then in the meantime, also, if you have more questions about the groups, you know, just type them in the chat and we can address them later. Same thing, if while I'm presenting you have some questions, please do type them in the chat and I will address them and address them at the end of my presentation. So what is going to happen after today, after we say goodbye? So like I mentioned in our group, you know, we're not going to leave you stranded in the desert. No, absolutely. We are going to keep going with this network, this community that we built along these 5 days that we spent together talking about participatory video. So first and foremost, the first assignment that we ask you to do as follow-up is to make a plan, a participatory video plan based on the process that you learned on day 2. So do not worry that we're going to be showing it to you after the presentation, so everything will come to mind again. So this first assignment is about a participatory video project that you want to implement. So in our group work, we started jotting down ideas. Each of you has already an idea of how to implement participatory video and applying it to your work. So keep thinking in that direction, because this assignment is a comprehensive one. So we're going to be putting all the pieces that were shown to you over the course of these 5 days together in one plan, and we'll show it to you so that it's not really anything that you haven't seen before. So the plan that you will be set up, the template, you can download it from the mini site, and you will find it. Uloma, again, please, can you share again the link to the mini site? So when the time comes, bookmark the mini site in your favorite so that you can go back to the materials and also download the template that you have to download it to be able to fill it out. And you can develop the topic that you discussed and identified during day 2, or since this is an individual project, you can tweak it and adapt it to your specific initiative, situation, project, so that you know, you can develop it on your own, following your most pressing needs. Because maybe during group work we discuss and try to find some, you know, common ground among the different group members, but this is an individual project, so you're welcome also to go your own way and develop your own PV project, although different from what you discussed in the group. So second step. Oh, by the way, this is an exercise that we launch now, but we do understand there are the holidays coming up for everyone. So you will be reminded of the assignment and this exercise in WhatsApp in January. So step 2 of this follow-up process. In 2024, we'll reconvene, we'll organize a meeting around the first week of February, and that will be an opportunity for you to actually share your participatory video project. And why do we strongly recommend to actually carry out the assignment? Because when we reconvene, that will be also an opportunity to gain some feedback, okay, during the meeting. So when you'll be presenting, others, trainers will have some feedback, so that after this meeting, you will have the opportunity to adjust it, improve it, and then by the end of the month, we will have you submit this participatory video output and also an implementation report, so that you will have a better product because it will have received feedback. And it's something good because sometimes, you're all into your project and you don't see, you miss some aspects, and it's good to have also some external feedback in order to be able to make it better. So these are the very key 3 steps. So beyond this, do not forget, use the community of practice. That is a tool that, of course, again, will resume after the holidays, probably in early February, but that's where continuous support will be granted. That's where all facilitators are in, that's where our trainers are in. So use it. You're very welcome to use it as a tool to ask questions, for sharing, for collaborating. So use it. On top of that, there will be also some bilateral technical assistance from FAO and other partners. So that will go a little bit case by case. So this is what it looks like, the follow-up. So there will be a slow moment between December and January because of the holidays and because of how we resume work across different organizations. But do not fear, because we're going to be back. So please continue to use this this tool. So now I can kindly ask, I think, Elena, to show the first assignment. Oh, yes, sorry. I can go back. Yes. We mentioned this, the mechanisms. I'm sorry, Elena, my bad. So what are the main mechanisms that we can guarantee for follow-up? The Yankasa Africa website. The Yankasa Africa website is the website for our Yankasa Africa initiative. It is available in 2 languages. And, when you will have your video output, we can definitely upload them in the repository of the Yankasa Africa website and also in the YouTube channel. Again, put to good use the community of practice. We'll be granting, feedback there, especially FAO is granting its presence there. So keep an eye on what's going on in the community of practice. And of course, the technical advice and coaching that will be given through FAO, but especially Digital Green, which is one of our main partner and one of the greatest expert on participatory video in the development world. So these are the 3 main mechanisms that we will follow to grant some feedback. Next, please. Okay, yes, if you wanted to keep in touch, you can use, of course, the WhatsApp community of practice of the Participatory Video Africa, and you should all be members by now. If you're not, I kindly ask Uloma to share again the link to join the group. And of course, if you prefer to write an email, apologies. There is our email. I don't see the email anymore. The comdev at FAO.org email, and the Yankasa one that is not there anymore. So it disappeared. Can we maybe type it, Uloma, in the chat? So you're welcome to use the email as well. Now, if we can please show our participants here the first assignment on the PV project. Yes, there you go. So we mentioned that you're gonna find it in our mini site. We recommend for you to fill it out before December 13. And I know it might, feel like it's a pretty tight deadline, but we don't want to miss the momentum. We want you to be still fresh with the knowledge of this of this training and all the content it has provided, so that you don't find yourself maybe wondering in January, oh, what was it that I was thinking about this PV project? So we strongly encourage you to share it by December 13. Anyway, you will be reminded of this exercise on WhatsApp again. So you will see again that you're invited to complete it. And of course, again, you can download it from the mini site. And here you can see, if you can scroll it a little bit, Elena, you see the different pieces that we were put together here, and we discussed each piece, especially during the group works along this training. So it's nothing new, it's all things that you have seen already and discussed. So yeah, can you scroll a little bit so that people can see a little different categories? And you have the video program production here, and again, identifying the audience, objectives, work plan and timeline, and yeah, the budget, of course. And the M&E definitely is important. So again, this does not need to be perfect. We're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for everything, all nice and done. No, if you're not sure, you need help for the completion, it doesn't matter, you do what you can, and you do the best you can based on what what you feel more comfortable with. And if you do feel like you need assistance, that will be provided to you when you'll be presenting your PV project. Now, this is a good time for questions. Any question here? So please raise your hand. Yes, Loma.
We have two questions in the chat. The
Yes.
first one is, can we do the assignment as a group? So maybe I can take that, Sylvia.
Sure, thank you.
So to respond to that, if you are in the same organization and you have the same, you're all working on a particular project, yes, you can do the assignment as a group. But if you're in a different organization from another participant, it's best if you do it individually, because we would need the assignments to be based on what you're working on in your organization. So yes, it's possible if you're in the same organization and working on the same project. Pascal, I hope that clarifies it for you. Yes, Paolo, please.
Yes, it is okay. Thank you.
Hi, Uloma. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to add that, of course, you're free to collaborate with each other. As Uloma mentioned, you can work on a project on your own through your organization or whatever you're already doing at your own respective work. But you're free to talk to each other as well, help each other out. So that there's always that room for collaboration and knowledge sharing.
Yes, thank you, Paulo. And just to clarify, if you have questions based on your assignment, you can also share this on the WhatsApp group. It's available there and we'll all respond to you. And also your colleagues, your other participants can also give you some tips if need be. So the second question is, how will the technical assistance be offered? So the technical assistance, as I mentioned, we have the WhatsApp group available. And also in the presentation by Sylvia, if you would notice that there was a point where we have a meetup session in February, 8th of February. So we can have that session with everyone, those who are interested with follow-ups. We'll have that session with you, and then you can also bring up your topics there. Then even besides that meetup session, you can also drop us an email letting us know you would need technical guidance on a specific aspect of the PV training, and we are happy to help you out communicating via email, and also setting up a meeting with you, one-on-one meeting with you for this follow-up as well. Alexander, I hope that covers your question. I believe that's all the questions we have now. We are still open to more questions if you have any other clarification.
Thank you, Loma. Yes, please do take this opportunity to ask questions. If you have issues in speaking, you can also use the chat box to ask your questions. Yes, Imani, we will insert the email addresses even in the WhatsApp group, so that you want to use those. Uloma can post them in the WhatsApp group too. I don't see any hand up for the time being regarding the questions. So I think that now we can move to the post-assessment. So we ask you your feedback regarding this training and its mechanics. So as an overall evaluation, you will be contacted and via email. There will be a link on WhatsApp, so that I'm sorry, so that you will have the opportunity to actually evaluate different aspects of the entire training. Now, thank you, Loma. You posted a link for this assessment of this session, and I kindly invite you all to actually click on the link and answer to those questions. Uloma, you can monitor participation, so please don't be afraid. There is no rush. You'll have some time to do that. So it is very important for us. We take into proper consideration the feedback you provide us with. So please do that. So we take a few moments to do that. Okay, Uloma, where are we?
We have no response now.
I'm
Zero
sorry, I didn't hear that.
We have 0 responses as at now.
Oh, no, please do provide us with some feedback. It is very important for us. So, as we move towards the end of this experience, I would kindly ask Mario Kunze, who is the head of the Communication for Development team here in FAO headquarters, to maybe say a few words for closing this training today. Mario, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia, and thank you all for your time, for your attention, and for interest in learning more about participatory video. This is a journey. I think this has been mentioned at the beginning. This is the first step of a process. You have got some information on how to approach the participatory video, how to apply video in your own realities, in your own work. This is just the first step. You will be also provided the possibility to access the guide. There is a guide that you can refer to for that. But the most important thing is this community, this group of people that we are here together today, both trainers and trainees. There are no boundaries. What is very important here is the opportunity that is being provided throughout the course, and especially at the last part of the course, to share experiences, to share information, to link up. One key aspect of this course is that it is, let's say, it's an open-ended course. So those that have been attending constantly will receive a certificate, not all of you. But, you know, the important thing is to continue the exchange and the interaction. Especially there will be this next meeting, this follow-up. And you can also invite the other colleagues that maybe have left because of their work, their duties, they were not able to follow fully. It is very important, by the way, that colleagues from the pharmacy school, they will continue attending because it's more and more important to apply video, to use the video to document the knowledge generated by the farmers themselves in the context of the pharmacy schools, but also in many other projects and initiatives, and especially in the farmers' organizations, this is very relevant. We also learned, and I think there will be even more to reflect about how those colleagues that are using other media, such as community radio, rural radio, or radio broadcasters, can really take advantage of this methodology of video. So let's say the strength of this learning is that we connect the use of one media in a broader context of a communication for development approach. And we know now how to start the communication process, how to identify the needs of the people according to the characteristics, and how to translate this into a plan for the production and sharing of the video. All these elements are there, are on the table, are for you. This is the beginning, and as I mentioned, we really care that you continue in touch and collaborate with us and collaborate among yourself and share and spread the voice to others. This is a community of practitioners, part of the Casa Africa initiative. There's a long-term, long-lasting collaboration to build capacities in communication in Africa. And we really appreciate your work, and we really look forward to support the needs that you will identify based on the proposal that you are drafting now. I think the idea of working by teams is excellent. Please work together as a team according to your priority, according to your interest, and get back to us and get back to FAO and to the NCAS initiative to get more support for applying participatory video and communication in your work. Thank you very much, and enjoy the use of participatory video in your realities.
Thank you, Mario, for your words. Now, an important pillar of this training, I would kindly invite Ms. Ayushi Singh from Digital Green to deliver a little speech, as the Digital Green is one of the main partners of this initiative. Ayushi, please, floor is yours.
Thank you, Sylvia. Hello, everybody. It's been such a delight. I've not been a part of the sessions as much, but I've been following all the insights and questions and submissions and exercises that everybody's been doing. And frankly, you guys are already way ahead in the curve. And it feels like a great joy that we're all building together as a community of change makers. Digital Green has been doing this for the last 15 years. And we've tried to change the way communication is designed so that it's not top down but bottom up, and so that community ownership, farmers ownership really comes to light, and we all learn from that. And what I've seen in all of the examples and the PV applications that everybody's been sharing, it just feels like we're all on the right track. And I want to congratulate everybody here who's made it through all the 5 sessions and contributed so valuably here. And I want to encourage everybody to stay connected. The whole community of practice is designed so that we all learn together, integrate, keep innovating, keep learning, and keep going forward. And yes, the tools, the guides, everything has been designed with a lot of effort with all of the partners here. And a lot of gratitude to everybody who've been our partners, UPL, BFRI, FAO, everybody. It's been fantastic. So let's keep the journey going. This is just the first step right after the training. I'd be very excited to hear more about your PV plans and how we can all keep sharing, keep learning. So all the best wishes, and I look forward to all of us working together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayushi, for your contribution in the closing of this training. So before we go, just a couple of reminders. Like I said before, the evaluation of the entire training will be out soon. There will be a link on WhatsApp. I'm not sure if there is a link also in the chat, and of course you'll be reminded also via email. That's very important. Now, in terms of evaluation, I kindly ask Catherine to launch our poll before we all leave. Thank you. So this is related to today's session. So please be sincere in your answers, and we'll leave you a couple of minutes to do so before we say goodbye. In the meantime, I can see that Uloma has posted here in the chat box also the the link to the overall workshop evaluation. Please, 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 please do fill it out. Do send us some feedback so that we can also improve. Give you couple of minutes more to complete the poll. Yes, Paolo.
Yes, Sylvia, I see that the participants are going to fill in several forms. So I just wanted to make a recommendation that maybe to proceed, you could first do the post assessment that was earlier posted. And then once you're done with that, you can finish the Zoom evaluation that's posted on your screen right now. And then you can do the overall training evaluation later, because it appears that you have quite several things to fill in at the same time, but you can prioritize it that way. So that's just a recommendation, of course.
Thank you, Paolo. Yes, absolutely. We don't need your feedback for the overall evaluation right now, but just, bookmark the link, keep it on the side so where you can access it easily, and but please do give us some feedback at your earliest convenience. Of course, we still value your feedback, so please do answer our poll, and then I also remind you that you can find a template for your first assignment in the mini site. So at your convenience, you can go and download it and start filling it out. So take your time. I will remind you that the deadline for that is December 13th. Then we will have a meeting in February about this, where you can actually share your PV projects and your and receive from some feedback so that you can improve them. In the meantime that you finish with the poll, I would like also to thank the organizing team of this event and all the trainers and facilitators who contributed for the realization of this training, because it might not look like it, but it takes a lot of work. So big thank you to all our trainers from Digital Green, from UPLB, from Fundación Comunica, who have been with us. Thank you for our hosting organization, Yenkata Africa, and our partner from Radio International. I'm sorry, my health is really declining. And of course, thanks to all of you who participated in this event. I also remind you that those of you who were able to attend at least 4 of our 5 days of training will receive a certificate. Just give us time to double check attendance and make sure that all the signatures are there on the certificate. So you will be receiving it, don't worry. And as for the rest, again, we do recommend for you to use the community of practice. That's a very important tool, and keep interacting with each other, interact with us, share your experiences, share your doubts, share your questions. So that's what it's there for. So where are we with the poll? Catherine? I see just a little over half of them. Well, Catherine, we don't hear you. We don't hear you, although you are okay. She disappeared. Anyway, I see that there is a little less than 60%. Please do provide your feedback in this poll. So we'll leave it open. Thanks again to all of you who were here also today. We understand that it is quite challenging, day 5, over 2 hours. So we appreciate you finding the time to fully dedicate yourself to this training. Please do keep in touch and don't hesitate to contact us in those channels that we showed you before, the email, the COP, above all. So big thank you also to my colleagues, FAO colleagues who made this possible. Catherine, Loma, Francesco, Elena, Mario, I could go on and on. So thank you again. We'll keep the poll open, and happy holidays to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
That's true, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sylvia. Bye.
I apologize.